Hi there, this is Dani, and the channel is You and Me Living Free, and today we're going to do a little cooking in the van. Now, I want to start off by saying this. I imagined doing this beautiful video with all these cool camera angles and everything, but the logistics of shooting a cooking video kind of blew my mind. So I decided to keep this one, since it's literally, I think, my first time I've done this. I'm going to keep it extremely simple. I'm just using photographs, and then I'm going to talk through step by step exactly what I did, and hopefully it is still very informative and gives you all the information you need, even if it won't be as visually pretty as maybe if I had really had the skill and really dug in there to try to do it in a different way. Anyway, enough ado about that. Let's get started. First, you plan out everything you're going to eat, and I use my cooler for the table to do my prep and actually to do my cooking too. So that just means I have to be organized. I have to get everything out of the cooler that I need. This is everything I'm going to prep. And here I want to tell you a quick tip about prepping, and I had to learn this the hard way. I make a big mess. So this is now how I chop my veggies and stuff, and I want to show you. I have my cutting board like you would expect, but then I also have a paper plate and my knife there. And what I do is I chop my veggies and even my meat, everything, on the paper plate. So this has a little ridge, so it keeps everything contained. It also makes cleanup easier. It also makes transferring my meat, my veggies and everything into my sandwich bags super easy, because I roll it up like a little funnel and dump it in the bags or in the skillet. And just a moment on the general setup here. I've got my side door of the van open, and I'm actually standing outside to cook. I can also close this side door and sit on my bed to cook the same way. Also, just a note on the ingredients. I love these pre-cooked meat things for when I'm traveling in the van, because I have my cooler. The temperature isn't always completely regulated. I feel weird about raw meat, so I have a lot of things like this. I go back and forth between beef and chicken, and then I also love these little things of Uncle Ben's rice that I can add to anything. So this is going to be a stir fry. Some rice, long grain, some beef, broccoli, onion, and soy sauce, and that is literally all I put in, besides a few seasonings and stuff, some onion powder and garlic and salt and pepper, things like that. Well, no salt because there's soy sauce. Anyway, I mix everything up. This is all in one pan. So I cook this stuff first just for a few minutes, and then I throw in the rice. I have a one-pot meal. I love one-pot meals. Here's another meal that I make with this same basic idea. I usually do this one with the chicken fajita instead of the beef, and I take whatever veggies I have and I throw it in. I put some rotel or salsa, whatever I have, maybe some corn if I have it, and then as a seasoning, instead of soy sauce, I use chipotle mayo, and it is divine. I probably like it even better than this way, but I had it so much that I got sick of it. Plus, when I make this, I make a great big deal. I make a great big pan of it, so I end up eating it for about 3 meals usually, so I really have to like it. And just a quick note, I had to take this picture that you see now a few days later when I warmed it up, because I was so hungry and so excited to eat that I forgot to do it at the time. Boy, I am really trying to rush this through, but there's a lot of information. Okay, let's get on to cleanup, Dani. Let's move through this. There's a couple stages to clean up so that you can do it with as little water as possible. Sometimes you have access to water easily, like here in Quartzsite. Other times, not so much. I do dishes with literally 2 cups of water, if even that, and here's how I do it. I take the napkin that I used with my meal on my face and my fingers, and I get off the food. I scrape the food off of every utensil and every pan and every plate, and I scrape it all onto this paper plate that can then simply be thrown away, easy as pie. So the next thing I do is get out all my stuff for cleaning up. I have an expandable little basin that I used for the wash. I use Dr. Bronners soap, a little bit of water, a regular towel, and I use these scratchy little washcloths that I love. I got on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. The main reason I bought these particular kind of washcloths in the beginning is because I was worried about a regular washcloth filling up with water, getting dirty, and then taking too long to dry and getting mildewy. So I love these. They dry out in no time, and you need to check them out if you don't have a good solution for this. Okay, this is kind of cracking me up as I go to edit this because you're not sure what you're looking at. I'm trying to show you exactly how little Dr. Bronners I use for a whole load of dishes. It is literally like 5 or 6 little droplets, and that is all I use. And even cutting through grease or anything, this does the job, and it does the job in cold water. I don't even heat my water to do dishes anymore. I'm telling you, Dr. Bronners is kind of like magic. I never realized it before because I was never a big camper. And then I showed you here the cup because I'm only putting less than 2 cups of water in the bottom of my basin here. And that is literally all there is to it. There it is flat. You can see that there's hardly any water in it. And I'm even tilting it to the side. Wow, I guess I'm pretty proud of the fact that this isn't taking much water. Just showing you what it looks like. And then I put all my dishes in. I scrub them with my little scrubber. And then I immediately dry each one. I used to rinse them with like spray bottle and water, but honestly, I stopped doing it because it just wasn't needed for me. People talk about maybe there's a residue or something on their dishes. They don't like to do that. Rinse them if you want, but I skip that part. We call this the lazy man's way to do dishes. I have no shame. It's okay. Bash me if you want in the comments. This is just what I do. I don't know if it works for everybody. I don't know if it's perfect. It works really well for me. Here's this magical little washcloth that I showed you earlier, and it dries out in no time. And then since A, I use Dr. Bronners, and B, I got all my food particles out of there first, this water is perfectly good to water a tree or something. So I walk away from the campground and I water something, usually out in the desert. So that's what I do with the water. Now, if I have a really messy meal and I do have too many food particles in my water, then if I don't get them all off, then I put this water into my gray water tank and I keep it till I can dispose of it safely. So that's just a little tip. Not really sure why I chose this little picture. I guess just to show all the stuff at once. It does look like a cluttered mess, doesn't it? So then I'll just put all of this stuff away and be done with it. And then the sun is lower in the sky. You can tell I'm going to make myself some hot tea. And then I'm going to sit by the campfire and enjoy the evening. And you made it through a video. You deserve a medal. I want to thank you for being here. And I want to thank my patrons. And I'm sending each and every one of you a ton of love. And I will catch you next time.